Keep it farming with AIM Agriculture. Greetings everybody, and I'm so excited to host you again. This is AIM Agriculture, the educative show you will never want to miss to watch. We bring you very amazing ideas, amazing farm ideas that are being practiced in Kenya and East Africa. If you're new to our YouTube channel, the best thing you can do, subscribe, like and share our video to so many other viewers.
How I ended up in dairy is passion. And apart from my passion, I lost my job in the formal employment. I couldn't just sit down and cry. So I decided what did I want to do and so I went into dairy. My partner Tanalop came in with his expertise, so we improved on our breeding, our feeding. We also brought in biogas to help us reduce the costs. We also mix our own rations. That's for the dairy meal, because we're trying to put our overheads down.
Dairy farming is a business. Dairy farming is a science. Use science to do business. If you do it as a science, it's a research center and you don't make money. If you do it as a business without using science, you'll be surprised. So you marry the two and you make your money.
My average production for the lactating animals is about 30 to 35. As now you can see, we don't have very many calves. That means most of the cows are at what we call the plateau. Because what happens is, like, the first 3 months of lactation, the production is quite high. Then it goes on up to about the 5th month, then it starts dipping. So that's the plateau stage. There's one dam that was just carved down 2 days ago, and the last lactation it was producing 30 liters. So we are hoping this time we can be able, if we feed it properly, we can achieve 35 liters per day. For the animals that we milk thrice, depending on the stage of lactation, we feed them thrice after every milking. And the diet has to be balanced. Just like for us humans, we need proteins, we need carbs, we need, vitamins, we need clean water. In fact, the water you feed your cow should be water you can take yourself. Because composition of the milk, over 80% is water. Don't be happy if your cows are not taking water. You won't get the milk. Hygiene is very key, both personal and for the animals. As you can see, the cleanliness here comes out as a win-win situation, because the dung we remove here, we use it for biogas. So on one end, the place is clean and it keeps the animals healthy. And secondly, we are using renewable energy. The breeding is also very important. The animals, because we're not talking about the number of animals, we're talking about productivity of the animals. So instead of having maybe a herd of 100 cows that are producing 10 liters each, you can keep your 20 animals that are producing 30 liters each, and you'll be in business. And another key thing we're looking at is not just about farming in like the traditional way. We're talking about commercializing. That means mathematics is also very key. We have to check that the number of animals, our costs, and the profit, we have to, it's a calculated thing, it's not kienyeji.
Basically, how we feed a cow is that we calculate 3% of its body weight. That's the extraction per day. Yeah, 3% of the total body weight you calculate, that is the total amount of feeds you give it. And basically it's between 14 to 19 kilos dry matter. Dry matter is a scientific word. What is important in the feeds we are giving to the cow. The source of the dry matter could be the dairy meal, could be the boma rods, like now this one. It could be Rusan, it could be Cariadra, it could be Desmodium. Basically, the dry matter can come from many sources. And the higher the dry matter, the better for you. So that's basically what we do. Like now for maize silage, the dry matter is about 30%, 28 to 32%. That means for every 10 kgs of good maize silage, you have about 3 kgs of dry matter. For bomber rods, it's about 95%, depending on its quality. So for 10 kgs, you get about 9.5 kilos of dry matter. That's very good. That's why you hear most farmers talking about the roads or the bomber roads has a lot of milk. How do you prevent the diseases? Because majority of those diseases are brought by sins of commission and omission. You have omitted to provide something to these animals. For instance, if you don't provide mineral supplements in terms of powder and in terms of mineral blocks, there will be a deficiency, a mineral deficiency. And that mineral deficiency may occur in so many forms. For instance, when this cow calves down and it never had enough calcium, it will not rise up. So you'll call a vet to inject with aromatic calcium. But if you had given it enough calcium before then, using the DCP in the feed formulation, you prevent that. So when it's calving down and there is retained placenta, that is a sign of mineral deficiency. So why can't you do a good steaming up program? You feed it well with mineral supplements so that you prevent that situation where you have retained placenta. Milk fever, mastitis, all those things. Like now mastitis is brought by the sphincter muscles of the teat. If it does not close after milking, it closes after 30 minutes. So if there is exposure to bacteria, then there will be mastitis. So how you prevent that? You are able to use mastrite and you prevent the disease. We have 6 principles when you're doing the combine. Ensure maximum light, maximum space, maximum rest, maximum air circulation, feeds.
Basically what happens is just a terms of reference, because every animal here has its records in terms of date of birth, when who's the dam, who's the sire, and then it has a reference with the Kenya Stud Book, because we've registered them. Then as the herd grows, you have to identify them, because if let's say one has a problem, and as you can see most of them are black and white, if the vet comes and I'm not around, I can simply tell him Sydney is the one that requires what, or a particular animal named is the one that needs your attention. So we do that. There is the routine vaccination that comes. All the vaccination and vaccines come from the government, but routine we do it once a year. The grading system of the animals, we start with the foundation. That is the animal that we don't even have any data on. No history, we don't know who the sire was. By sire, I mean the bull. And for us in the dairy industry, we call the mothers, we call them dams. So the dam, we have to know the lineage. So the foundation is the basic. Then from foundation, you go to the intermediate. Then from intermediate, you go to the appendix. Then from appendix, now you go to the pure breed or the pedigree. We improve by selecting bulls from various service providers, and we check on the traits we want to improve on the animal. We also look at longevity of the animals. That's the lifetime net merit of the animal. The longer the animal stays in your herd, the more profits. So you also have to look for cows maybe with calving ease, so that you don't have complications while giving birth. You can have all this if you do selective breeding. You can even determine the kind of milk you want to have, because there is the A1, A2 milk. You can even select animals that are less susceptible to diseases like mastitis by just checking on the genetic records that show you a lower somatic cell count. Cows have a lesser what? Lesser susceptibility to mastitis. Nowadays, we have good technology like embryo transfer. We have selected bull semen that actually is for just heifer conception. So we are hoping with enough research, we'll improve and get better results We have registered our animals. We have also insured our animals so that if you don't have a collateral, you can actually go with your certificates to the bank, and they'll give you some credit. Another challenge is finance is very expensive to get. Maybe we have to get into SACCOs, and because the mainstream banks, the loans, the interest rates are way off. So we are hoping there are people who can partner with us, like our local government also, the counties. We have to say, give kudos to them. They've given us assistance, especially the groups. But for the individuals, it's a bit challenging. So we were hoping the same people who are assisting the groups, they can vet the farmers like us who've been in business for quite a while, and they can vouch for us. We don't want handouts. We want loans that are interest rates are down. We don't want freebies. We want to do business. We want to have that environment where we can, so that we can also assist in paying the of taxes and everything. That's how the farmer should be treated. The farm gate prices are very good. We're doing it about 75 to 80 shillings for raw milk. We also have a good clientele that is paying upfront. We are the people who owe them the milk. That is a business model we've come up with after losing a lot of money. In business, you go on learning through experience is the best teacher. To say you're going to be in dairy farming, you have to have at least 6 animals to start with. Then at least producing about 25 liters and getting a price of maybe about 30 shillings per liter. You'll be just at least emerging as a business person. So what you do is that start with one, perfect it, then you can copy paste. You can do it, and we are doing it. It's something that is doable. It's business. It's what we are living on. And we are going through life normally. Our kids are going to school, college, and we can afford it through our business. So we can't say that there's nothing that cannot be done. If you have the passion, just go for it and you'll get it.